Now then, I am starting to document my travels and adventures around the UK and around the world. And we're starting off this weekend somewhere a little bit closer to home, but not right on my doorstep. Quick swig of beer there. So, come join me. Welcome to Pie Eaters Travels in the Yorkshire Dales. So this weekend I'm staying at Lily Green Retreats in Greenhow Hill. The farmhouse is actually 2 apartments. I'm in the top apartment, Ava Rose, and that's the view outside the apartment. Just do a quick tour around the rest of the space. So this is the main part of the apartment. Sofa, I haven't actually sat on it yet. Dining table, small kitchen, log burner. There's a small oven hot plate, microwave, air fryer, usual sink, small fridge, kettle, toaster. Just go into the bedroom. Nice comfy double bed. Apparently it's the comfiest double bed anyone's ever slept on. And into the bathroom. Nicely well fitted. The commode, as the Tim Tracker would say, is in the far left. Small hand wash space in, and electric shower. And that's pretty much the tour of the apartment. So I'm just about to settle down and have something to eat, and I'll check back with you later on. Well, good morning from a rather wet and murky Yorkshire Dales. So last night I just basically was tired after work and driving up from West Yorkshire to North Yorkshire, and had a few beers with my old colleague when he'd sorted out his wife's tea, and then went to bed. So not a particularly exciting night last night, but let's see what today holds. So since we last spoke, it was probably about an hour ago, I've had some breakfast, and I'll be honest with you, it's still quite murky outside and still quite wet, but the rain has stopped, so that's a little bit of a Brucey bonus. It is quite cold as well. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do today. We do have some brochures on the dining room table, so let's have a look at those whilst we're here. So what have we got? We've got Cold Stone Cut, Friends of Nidderdale Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty, Malton and Pickering Market Town Cycling, Stump Caverns and Time Cafe, the National Centre for Birds of Prey, Kipling Hall and Gardens, Whittaker's Distilleries, the Nidderdale Museum, Nidderdale Llamas, interesting. interesting. Embassy and Bolton Abbey Steam Railway. Fountains Abbey and Studley Royal. There's one from English Heritage here for to explore castles, abbeys from coast to countryside. A free National Trust map of Yorkshire. Places to explore in 2022. Discover Nidderdale. The Jorvik Centre in York. Discover Vikings. And Richard III experience. 2 kings, 2 gates, 1 city. That's also York. We've also got Yorkshire Dales Visitor National Park 2022 magazine. Right, so I've made the decision. I am going to go to Stump Caverns. I'll stick you on a time lapse for the drive over. The other thing is, I need to get some signal because I don't actually know where it is, and there's absolutely no mobile phone signal here at all. I'll do a little bit of driving to start off with, and then hopefully I'll get a signal and be able to put it into Google Maps or Apple Maps and go from there. Okay, couple little boo-boos there. One, time lapse was on photo mode, not video mode. And secondly, I turned left out of the front of Lily Green Retreats instead of right. But we are here at Stump Caverns, just round the back of the main visitor centre at the moment, and a little other wrinkle, it started raining again, so let's have a quick shufty around here for a minute or two before we go in and see about going down into the caverns. So this is a little children's play area around here. There's some outdoor seating. There's cafe and ice cream parlour. Sand pit over there. And now I've got signal. So my phone's just absolutely going bananas. It is a slightly clearer view up here. So we'll go inside out of the rain and see what we can do. So I am now down inside the cave network at Stump Caverns. Sort of very interesting brief about the caves from Stephen, the tour guide at the main entrance. There's 68, 67 steps down into the cave network itself, and then once we get down there I'll show you the map. There we go. Right, there is a it is quite a tight squeeze down here, head height wise. So they have given me a helmet, but I have used my own head torch. Go on. So let's have a look round here. There we go. Oh. It's a lot lower headroom than advertised, I have to admit. So it is a series of left turns throughout the cave network, and all of this is limestone cave.
And one of the things that Stephen did say during the briefing was that limestone naturally dissolves in water, and when you get calcites, which are sort of these little things here, and it's basically like a straw, and when it blocks up with some grit, then over 100 years it grows about ½ an inch, and that's what you get a stalactite from. But we'll keep going. Further into the cave. So we've passed the butcher's shop area of the cave network, coming up on Wolverine Cave. So most of the pathways are either concrete or limestone gravel, and we're at full head height now. So you are now at Wolverine Cavern. Don't worry, you're safe with me. The reason why it's called Wolverine Cavern is because the remains of wolverines were found in the cave system. And this is Rimstone Pool. Just going back out of Wolverine Cavern. Oh, hang on a minute, let me just see if I... Yeah, no, 0.4 on the audio map guide was for Rimstone Pool. Doesn't go any further. So, yeah, we'll head on backwards where we've come. Ow. Yeah. This is the problem with being 6 foot tall. And I've just dropped the torch on the floor. There we go. Right. Just past audio guide marker number 5, which is there on the map in that bottom corner. Yeah. Scrapey head time. So it's things like this, it's the calcites that drip and form stalagmites and stalactites. Fairy Palace legend. For 1,000,000 years this part of the cave system remained inaccessible to the public. Now visitors are able to glimpse into the entrance of the Fairy Palace and, using our cameras, view the magic within. The secret part of the cave system reveals ancient and rare crystal flowers found nowhere else in the caves. They are glittering stalagmites and a shimmering lake of reflections that have remained untouched by humans for thousands of years. The fairy palace is also rumoured to be home of one of our very own cave fairies who dance amongst the sparkling stalagmites and crystal garden. Fairies like to live where there is little human activity, and potholers have reported seeing dancing lights within the cave that have looked like fairies. Find out more about the fairy tales that's around the fairy palace as you explore upstairs. So, in the caves at the minute, temperature just a little under 10 degrees, 9 degrees Celsius, and we are in solution pocket now. It did say that there's a potential for seeing some new calcite formations with the UV torch that they've provided, so let's just have a look, see what we can see a bit further on into the caves. One thing is, it is a very cramped situation down here. That shows up very well. Look at that. All this. I'll just turn my torch off a sec. Wow. Really does stand out with the UV light. Stands out even more on the camera screen than it does in to the naked eye. It really pops, that calcite formation, because if I turn my torch back on, it doesn't show up at all, but with the UV, it really pops. Look at all this. So the new calcite formations show up, that are showing up here, around about 160 years old. Let's just see if there's any new calcite formations around here. I mean, look at them. Just turn my torch off again. Really pop out on camera. So this is Cableman Corner. And we'll go a little bit further on. Push your letters to the cableman here. Really see that calcite formation there. There is a formation that's not referred to as organ, and that there is a sleeping cat. So there's a bit more information here. This section is the cathedral, and behind there is a wedding cake. That is one stalagmite formation that's water's just dripped down onto, and that rock face there, and it's built up and built up over thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years. So it says, cave formations are the result of a natural process in which rainwater filtered through the surface limestone and peat dissolves small quantities of rock. When the solution reaches an airspace or cave, a drop is formed containing small particles of dissolved limestone. The drop falls or evaporates, leaving behind the crystalline substance known as calcite. The process, repeated over long periods of time, results in steadily developing growth called a stalactite. Falling drops form a stalagmite, so that's the difference. If it comes from the top of a cave, it's a stalactite. If it's from the bottom, it's a stalagmite. If the two formations join, it's called a stalagmite column. The process being slow, the majority of formations in the cave are 150 to 235,000 years old, standing 16 metres, 15 feet below the surface. Temperature is 45 or 7 degrees Celsius. And that's the Cathedral and Wedding Cake formation behind me. Ow! Yeah, I did say this was going to be a day of banging heads. Fortunately, I do have an helmet on. And also to say, where there's no sense, there's no feeling. So even though there are steps in the caverns, do use the handrails, because as some signs say, they are uneven and there is a little bit of standing water, so just be careful as you're coming down. On the back of the map there is a bit more information and some QR codes for apps for self-guided audio tours. I do feel as though I missed a turn somewhere though. Unfortunately I've just stood in a pool of water that's gone straight through my shoe. So now I've got a wet sock. So yeah, there are these signs here for your health and safety. Make sure that you do use the handrails. Yeah, sorry about that. I just stopped filming there because there's a children's party actually in here at the minute. So, if you look actually up there, that calcite formation, obviously without a, just put my torch on a sec, well, not spectacular, but with the UV it really pops out. Really pops out. And actually a calcite is hollow, hence why water can actually drip down in it. It's only when the grit, as I've said earlier on, forms, is pulled down, that it actually blocks the end up and then forms a stalactite. So We'll just move a bit further on now. And some more calcite formations. Like I say, the UV really makes it pop out. You would never be able to see that as clearly with the naked eye in comparison. Really stands out. More red bobbin. So I'll look at some of this further back on the way out. So this is the twins. Welcome to the twins. A pleasure to meet you. I am Sally the Shark Tooth. Did you know the caves were first discovered by lead miners in 1860? It's actually two 15-year-old young men that found the caverns. They didn't find any lead, they did find the natural caverns, which you see today. William Newbold decided to open the caves to the public at a cost of £1 per visit. I'll have to work out what that is in equivalent in modern money, but it costs £14 to get in here today. Ow. So it has gone up a little bit since that last flyer that we had. Back up there. So yeah, this is the butcher's shop formation with Timmy the Trilobite. I'm really having to squeeze down here to get through. It is tight on the headroom. Now going back up the stairs. I've just ordered a cup of tea and a breakfast roll. Has sausage, bacon, black pudding wrapped up in pastry, which is very nice. And the gift shop and cafe is quite lovely. So I'm all done at Stump Caverns, and I'm just about to go Black Sheep Brewery. If you're coming down the B6 265 Ripon Road, look out for that sign, Stump Caverns. It was really good. So I'm going to hop back in the car and make the time lapse work properly this time, and I'll see you in probably about another 40 minutes or so. slight apology. It's been a bit longer than 40 minutes. I got to the Black Sheep Brewery and yeah, went into the shop, bought a few bits. I'll go through them later on. And then when I was at the checkout, I saw that they had the tours on, and then like, can I get on one? Do I have to book in advance? So I asked and said, well, the 2:30 one's fully booked, but you can just about squeeze in the 1 o'clock. And it's 3:05 now, so yeah, I got on the tour for about an hour. But when you go on the tour for Black Sheep, you do the tour of the brewery, a bit of the history of the company, and then you get a free pint at the end of it. Usually be a card they give you with 3 tokens for a third of a pint each, whatever hand pull beer they've got on the bar, or you can use the full card to get a full pint. I got the thirds. Went for a third of a pint of one of the latest beers, Respire. It's their first certified carbon neutral beer. And then I had 2/3 of the original best beer that the brewery first started in 1991, 1992. So yeah, good tour. Like I say, I'll go through what I bought. It's not a lot. What I bought in the shop in a little bit. So I will be driving back to Lily Green in just a few minutes, and I'll put you on time lapse for that. It was just literally a window of opportunity. I was there at the right time, and I didn't have a chance to come back into the car to get my camera to do any filming or take any photos. So unfortunately, it was just a victim of circumstance. But I'll go through on camera what I bought in the shop, back on the time lapse for the drive back to Lily Green. So I've come back. I'm just out on the deck at the minute, and look at that epic view. Absolutely fantastic. That view. Oh, there's just the tractor going past. But yeah, this is what I was greeted to yesterday, briefly. That view is absolutely stunning. Right across the Nidderdale Valley. Yeah, there's absolutely no blots, blemishes anywhere in sight on this landscape. Absolutely fantastic views. So yeah, like I say, I will put down in the description below links to cottages.com for Ava Rose and Arthur Bear if you want to check out the listings yourself. More than welcome to. And put a booking in with Steve and Bev. Very, very nice people, lovely apartments, and well, like I say, that view, it's just completely and utterly unmatched. Absolutely fantastic. So I'll just give you a little bit of a tour of the grounds down here. So there is a small little pond here, lots of open grassland, trees dotted about. And that's the end of the farmhouse. Door up the top, but you might just be able to see it. There's the entrance to Ava Rose. The whole point of this video and the videos to come is to give you a little bit of insight, entertain hopefully, and also as I'm getting on in years, I just want to document things for posterity, as Adam the Woo would say, and any thoughts that I have, just so it's not all bottled up inside, keep my mental health in good order, and hopefully you enjoy what I have to say, find it of value. That's the game plan going forward. And as I'll say in a future video and a future video series, there's a reason why I'm taking a big trip at the end of this year. So stay tuned, like, subscribe and turn those notification bells on so that you keep up to date on what's going on with me and my adventures around the UK and overseas as well. One of the plans for tonight is I'll chill out upstairs for a little bit, and then Mr. Smith is very kindly putting a curry on with his world famous onion barges. Plenty to enjoy there. He does do very, very good barges. They are fantastic. So, one last look over the hills and dales, and I'll see you in a little while. Now then, I'll be honest with you, it's about a week later. I didn't do any more filming whilst I was at Lily Green. The curry from Mr. Smith, it was brilliant. And then after we ate with his other guest that was in bottom floor apartment, Arthur Bear, just had a few drinks, chatted for a while to the point where I was falling asleep. And then I went upstairs to bed. Sunday morning I left and came back to West Yorkshire. So as promised, I'll show you what I bought in the Black Sheep Brewery. So I bought this glass for Monty Python's Holy Grail Ale, and this mug says drink cask beer, it'll change your life, and a Black Sheep ID card lanyard. So I hope you've enjoyed my trip to the Yorkshire Dales, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.